Alright people, this is Conqueror and Commander, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Heavenly Inferno pre-constructed Commander deck. The deck is built around Kalia of the Vast, who obviously likes having demons, dragons, and angels in the deck, and there are a variety of those. The deck basically plays one of two ways. If you have fat stuff in your hand in the opening hand, you try and rush Kalia out there, and then you get that fat stuff out as quickly as possible. If you do not have fat stuff in your hand, you sit back and play like more of a control deck, because there's a lot of ways to destroy things and deal with various permanents in this deck. Let's just take a look and see what we got here to start off with. First of all, the deck comes with 38 lands. That's actually a pretty good number of lands. My only issue, and I think that happens with a lot of these decks, is that there is sometimes color screw that happens. So if you have the ability to upgrade these lands with either the dual lands or the Shadowmoor lands or any of that stuff, you will be greatly helped. But I think the number of lands is good. In addition, we have here the 3 Signets, Darksteel Ingot, Soul Ring, and Armillary Sphere. All those are great as well. If I could recommend one additional artifact, it would be Journeyer's Kite, to make sure that you can hit the tough mana costs that are associated with this deck. As I said before, this deck has a lot of removal and ways to deal with creatures and other permanents. We've got Terminate, Wrecking Ball, which helps with land destruction, Malfegor. Malfegor is a tough card to play with unless you have a lot of recursion or ways to fill up your hand, and this deck doesn't really have either. I don't know if Malfegor is a card you want to keep in the deck or not. I think it's okay. I mean, it came in handy a couple times when I played him, so he's probably worth keeping. Mortify, Angel of Despair, an awesome card. The Hedge Mage is another mage, a little guy who can get rid of 2 permanents at once if you have the right lands in play. And unfortunately, in this deck, there was plenty of times where I didn't have enough mountains or plains or both to really use him, but he is useful. Oros is good at sweeping away a lot of little guys. In this deck, he doesn't really hurt any of your creatures, or he does hurt your creatures, but he doesn't kill anything, so I don't know, he's worth keeping in there. Comet Storm's an awesome card. Earthquake is good. Akroma's Vengeance is the one piece of mass removal that is in here. Orum's Thunder's good. Path to Exile. Soul Snare I do not like. I mentioned this last time, that Soul Snare cannot target any creature that's not attacking you or one of your planeswalkers, and having that ability or lacking that ability really puts a damper on Soul Snare, so I would take that out. Pyrrhemia is another card that didn't really work well for me. I understand that it's in here probably to deal with weenie swarms and creature tokens and stuff like that, but it just never did the job for me. I think Earthquake and stuff like that does a better job. Even Sulphurous Blast did okay. Evankar's Justice has buyback. I never had the mana to buy it back. Period. I don't think it's worth it. Siphon Flesh is okay, but I don't think it's right for this deck. I mean, you're getting a bunch of little 2/2s, and you're making people sacrifice creatures. This isn't the kind of deck that can really take advantage of those little 2/2s. Reaver Demon is one of those Nombos, as well as Dread Cacodemon. Both these guys have to be cast from your hand. I was able to hardcast both of them while playing this deck, so I could see why you'd want one of them, but you probably wouldn't want both. In all honesty, like a Damnation would be better. I would probably get rid of... The Cacodemon costs 10 mana. That's just... I mean, if you like Plague Wind, you can keep it in the deck. Because that's basically... It's Plague Wind with a body, essentially. Or you can just get around it and shove it into play. And the Dread Cacodemon doesn't even have flying. That's just frustrating. Return to Dust is good. Cleansing Beam, 6 mana is not worth it. for what this card does. So there's that. You could probably get rid of one or two more of these guys. There are two methods of recursion in this deck. Teriel, who doesn't actually recur anything from your graveyard, and Bladewing the Risen. There aren't enough dragons in the deck as it is right now to really take advantage of Bladewing. If you upped the dragon count, you could probably do well with him. But I don't see how good he is in this deck. Teriel's a fun card. I enjoyed him, or her, I mean, so you can keep her in. The deck had a minor life gain theme. Congregate is one of those cards that's awesome when it's awesome and horrible when it's not. I don't like that kind of variation, so I wouldn't keep it around. Lightkeeper of Emeria is just crap. I would get rid of that card. Shattered Angel, the life gain from this card actually adds up pretty significantly over time, especially if it stays out there. So I would probably keep it. And Righteous Cause is like a permanent and better version of Congregate. So yeah, sure, why not keep that? I mean, it's definitely cuttable. If you want, you feel free to cut it if you want. But you can keep it in. The deck would be fine with it. There are three methods of keeping your guys alive. There's Bathe in Light, which came in handy sometimes. You can use it to get your guys past defenders, or just protect your guys from damage. Mother of Runes, who's not bad at all, and Lightning Greaves, which is just a good card. The vows in this deck are not useful. I would pull all the vows. And then you've got two other sort of cards that mess with your opponents. Stranglehold is a good card, period. This is a card that I try to put in my regular decks, but I always end up cutting it because it doesn't do anything immediately upon hitting the table. But when you do have it out there, you will see people forget that it's even out there and end up using stuff like Kodama's Reach and stuff like that. And Angelic Arbiter is a good card, period. It really hampers people's playstyles. So both of these are good enough to keep in the deck. This pile right here is basically your big beater and small beater pile. Some of these guys are good. Achroma Angel of Fury is good. Avatar of Slaughter. I wish this was a demon or something because it would be that much better. But it's not. And I'm not sure I would keep it in the deck. In all honesty, I never drew it. I played this deck several times and I never drew it. I guess I would keep it. I mean, part of the problem with the deck is that if you're out and beating down, you're really susceptible to wraths, and this will help you get through for more damage. Or maybe not get through. Mana Charge Dragon is cool, except for the fact that the Join Forces ability doesn't work if you bring it into play using Kalia. Oni of Wild Places is only good if you got the Durgar Hedge Mage. But otherwise it's not. Furnace Whelp and Dragon Whelp. I know why these cards are in here. They're in here basically because you need some early play sometimes, but they're just crap. They're not good. I would take them out. Anger and Boros Guildmage are both haste enablers. The Guildmage actually worked out pretty well most of the time, so I would keep that. Bassandra, you know, I really love the art on Bassandra, and I kind of like what she does, but she was never... Ah, man, she just needs a deck built around her, really is what she needs. I would probably hack her. Gwillian Hedgemage is complete crap. I would take that out. It just doesn't do... It doesn't do anything. Orzhov Guildmage, also crap. Sarah Angel... Archangel of Strife was fun. I enjoyed it. I'd leave it in. Sarah Angel, I'm sorry, you're outclassed. Plus, bringing the Sarah Angel in using Kalia taps her, which means that you don't get to take advantage of the vigilance. Voice of All actually is good. Razorjaw Oni, horrible. I would take him out. Fallen Angel, I would take her out too. And then finally, we've got our singular tutor, Diabolic Tutor. I would find a way to add at least one or two more tutors in here. Grim Tutor, Demonic Tutor, whatever. Siphon Mind is our singular card draw. Black has so many easy card draw spells, whether it's, you know, Phyrexian Arena or Promise of Power, which is on theme. And red has even stuff like Wheel of Fortune and Reforge the Soul and Nullspine Dragon. You know, all these cards are ways to draw more cards. Master Warcraft, if you like the card, you love it. If you don't like it, you don't need it. Death by Dragons, it's not good. I would take it out. So, the deck could use a couple more things. It could use card draw, and I just talked about that a little bit. It could use recursion, because what will end up happening is you'll end up overextending, trying to get everybody to die, and then somebody will wrath. And if you have Phyrexian Reclamation or something like that, you can use Kaalia in the late game to get stuff directly into play without having to pay the mana costs. What'll end up happening a lot of times is, with this deck as is, you'll have enough mana in the end game where you won't need to cast Kaalia, because you'll be able to hard cast just about everything out of your hand. So Kaalia ends up becoming useless. If you have Phyrexian Reclamation or some other form of recursion, she'll be useful in the late game. The deck could also use some better angels or demons or dragons. I mean, there's some good dragons. There's Thundermaw Hellkite. You know, there's a bunch of... There's the... there's that one dragon that kills everybody once he hits. What the hell's that guy's name? Balefire Dragon. Yeah, Balefire Dragon would be great. Baneslayer Angel is a great angel to have in here. Boggart and Hellkite, that's another good dragon. You know, there's a bunch of angels you could throw in too. Baneslayer is one of them. There's even more demons that you could throw in that aren't bad at all. You could throw in... let's see, Bloodgift Demon. That's not a bad demon at all. Carnifex Demon would be nice too. So I mean, you can definitely upgrade all the creatures in the deck, and then you can get something more consistent. I didn't manage to pull off a win with this deck. I came very close several times, and I just couldn't. I didn't have the card advantage to be able to finish everything off after some sort of board wipe or something like that. But like I said, the deck comes in two modes: control or aggro, and there's a decent amount of stuff you can take out and still keep the deck playing well. So anyways, that's the little deck tech right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to show you guys a few games. Feel free to take a look. All right, thanks.